Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Sania Gilani and this is our course of Rise of the Novel, 18th and 19th century. This week the topic is Introduction to Jane Austen. So we are going to explore the life, historical context, world, social order, narrative innovation and the enduring legacy left behind by Jane Austen, one of the most important writers in English literature. We will also look closely at her most famous novel, Pride and Prejudice, which will be the center of our attention. But this won't be a simple biographical overview. Rather, it will be an attempt to understand how Austen's writing reflects the complex society of her era, how she innovated as a novelist, and why she continues to matter to readers and scholars around the world. So, who was Jane Austen? To understand that, we should have an awareness of the historical context. Jane Austen wrote during the time known as the Georgian period, specifically within what literary historians call the Regency era. It was approximately the time period from 1790 till 1820. This era was named after the Prince of Wales, later George IV, who ruled as regent after his father, King George III, who became ill while going for some broad issues. So, this period is marked by immense political and economic transformation. This age is also known as the start of the Romantic Age. And during this time period, from 1799 till 1815, the Napoleonic Wars were also happening, which dominated European politics and shaped national anxieties in Britain. There was a fear of French invasion and conservative reaction to revolutionary ideas that influenced English culture promoted at that time. England was suffering the beginnings of the Industrial Revolution as well, shifting production from rural workshops to factories and transforming the economy and the entire society of the world. At the same time, traditional social hierarchies based on land ownership and inherited wealth remained dominant, especially in rural areas where Jane Austen's novels are set. So, Regency social norms had certain rules and regulations that needed to be abided, that Jane Austen often reflects as socially deep in her works. In this society, manners and civility were extremely important. They were a reflection of moral and social codes. Marriage was an economic and social institution rather than merely a romantic choice. Rigid social structures where social mobility was limited and reputation, connection, and land ownership shaped opportunity. Austen's world looked calmly on the surface, but those polite interactions were supported by underlying pressures of money, inheritance, and reputation. So, this was the historical era. But what about Jane Austen's life and social position? She was born in 1775 into a clergyman's family in rural Hampshire, part of the lower fringes of the English gentry, relatively educated and respectable but not wealthy. She received most of her early educations at home and in local schools, far better than many girls of her time who did not even have education. Austen never married, a fact that shaped her lifelong focus on the economic and social significance that marriage comes with. Her novels were published anonymously during her lifetime, reflecting social attitudes that associated female authorship with impropriety. Austen's own social vantage point was educated, observant, and fully embedded in small town gentry society. She gave her a unique lens in her works. She depicted everyday life with psychological insight and social critique. Next is the literary context and the narrative techniques that Austen is famous for using in her works. So, as Austen's place in the history of novel stands as a crossroad between the 18th century English novel tradition and the later 19th century realist novel. Her work transforms the plot driven, sentimental novels of earlier writers into stories focused on character development, social interaction, and moral judgment. While her novels may seem domestic at first glance, they are structured with formal pretension and intellectual subtlety. The narrative innovations that Austen utilizes in her works includes free indirect discourse. She mastered a technique known as free indirect discourse, in which the narrator presents a character's thoughts and feelings seamlessly with third person narration. This allows readers to understand characters' internal conflict while also noticing irony and self deception. This technique was a pioneering move towards psychological realism that influenced later novelists like Henry James, George Eliot, and Virginia Woolf. Next innovation in her works is the use of irony and social satire. Austen's use of irony is not merely humorous, it is deeply evaluative. Her opening lines and social scenes often mask critical commentary beneath polite language. For example, in Pride and Prejudice, she begins, "It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife." This sentence is probably the most famous line from the book. It sounds like common wisdom, but it is actually a satire, a critique on how society regarded marriage and wealth and how eligible bachelors were treated. Some of the core themes that are often explored in Austen's fiction overlap throughout her novels. She consistently returns to several interwoven themes. First of them is marriage, second, money, third, social class. In Regency England, women had limited legal rights and little economic independence. Their security often depended on marriage because of the legal doctrine of the society, under which a married woman lost her separate legal identity and property rights. Austen's novels demands how couples must not also navigate emotional compatibility but also social expectations and financial necessity. Next theme that is often explored in her work is class and hierarchy. Even though industrial wealth was emerging, land and inheritance remained markers of success and wealth as well as status. Austen represents class in fine gradation, from landed aristocrats to upward mobile merchants, showing how social mobility was possible but always constrained. Her novels often explore the concept of moral growth and self knowledge as well. Her protagonists are not figures, they are not static figures, they are undergoing moral education. They confront personal flaws such as pride, prejudice, or impulsiveness and learn empathy, reflection, and restraint over time. Gender and agency also key role in the novels. Her heroines are strange thinkers in societies that restrain opportunity. They assert their intelligence through dialogues, judgment, and ethical choices, revealing a subtle critique of patriarchal norms and traditions. Pride and Prejudice was not just a novel, it was a social mirror published in 1830. Pride and Prejudice is a book that exemplifies Austen's insight and narrative mastery. Her plot and characters focus on Elizabeth Bennet and her evolving relationship with Mr. Darcy. Their journey into misunderstanding to mutual respect reflected in the themes of internal transformation. Around them, Austen populates the world with characters that embody variation on social values and personal flaws, from the characters like Charlotte Lucas to the impulsive Lydia Bennet, each of whom represent a different relationship with society, self-interest, and moral judgment of their own. The key themes reinforced in Pride and Prejudice are some that overlap with the previous ones. But both Elizabeth and Darcy must overcome their own misjudgment before they can truly understand the prejudice part of the story. Marriage is not just a couple getting married, it's an institution. Austen contrasts different marriages to show marriages as ethical, economic, and emotional components of partnership. Class and reputation, social acceptance, and family connections also weigh in heavily in characters' decision while choosing to marry. Austen's enduring literary legacy still strives today. What makes her enduring and increasingly significant in literary studies goes beyond her plot. The critical recognition scholars consider Austen as a foundational figure in the development of the modern novel because her psychological depth and narrative technique into feminist and cultural issues of the time and beyond are the reflection of the society and the work she has done. Austen's works have been examined through feminist, cultural, post colonial lenses multiple times. Critics analyze her portrayal of gender roles as well, patriarchal constraints, and social negotiations in the story, showing that her novels offer more than just love stories. They offer structured reflection on power and identity. There's a wide cultural influence that Austen has left behind that have inspired in numerous adaptations and intertextual works throughout the generations. From films to series to modern reinterpretations of the story like Bridget Jones' Diary and global retellings that resonate with diverse cultures. Even today, a adaptation of Pride and Prejudice is being created. So why Austen still matters? Jane Austen wrote about a world 2 centuries ago. Yet her insight into social hierarchy, gender constraints, negotiation, moral self awareness, and human behavior remain relevant to today's society as well, especially when it comes to societies where marriage, family, reputation, and class continue to reflect lives. Her novels are not merely romance, but rigorous, constrained narratives that interrogate the values and morality of the society. So her works can resonate with a Pakistani reader a lot. So from next lecture, we are going to talk more about Pride and Prejudice and the interrelated concepts in the story. Till then, that is all. And I hope you understood today's topic. Allah Hafiz. See you guys soon.